3rd, 2023. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Crawley.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Want me to keep going, or you want to? Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Commissioner O'Grady. And we are leading off this morning's meeting with the recognition of Stormwater Awareness Week. Stormwater awareness is all about protecting local streams and rivers and the water and wildlife within them. Today, we have with us Jennifer Fish, Director of the Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District, with us, as well as Jim Ramsey, riparian and environmental engineer from the county engineer's office. Ms. Fish is going to tell us a little bit more about stormwater awareness and the actions that each of us can take to protect our local streams, rivers, and drinking water. Where's Jennifer? Is she online? Oh, I can see her. There you are, right there.
Jim Ramsey's going to say a few words after me. So, Stormwater Awareness Week is the entire first week of October, and we celebrate it across the state of Ohio. And this week we have all different activities. We have pollinator gardens, storm drain art, stream cleanups that different communities and organizations are doing in recognition of the week. Residents can also take an online pledge, and we have prizes then for the online pledges. And stormwater is important, as Commissioner Boyce alluded to, for a lot of different reasons. All the rainwater that runs off of our property in our lands picks up all that pollution and takes it directly to the stream. It is not treated. So think of your everyday actions and everything you do, and when it rains, what could be going down into the streams. In addition to that, as we continue to develop, we put up more roofs, sidewalks, roads, so all that water rushes more quickly down into the streams, causing erosion, flooding, and also it impacts the fishing and the recreation opportunities on our streams and rivers. So this week, I'm asking everybody to think about actions they can take to either A, slow down the water, so you can infiltrate stormwater into a rain garden, you can plant a tree to take up more stormwater. Native plants do a better job at breaking up our clay soil and infiltrating stormwater, so think of maybe an area on your property where you can switch out and plant more native plants. And then also think about just your daily actions, making sure right now the things we're concerned about is making sure all those fall leaves don't make it into the storm drains and down into the gutters, because one, they'll clog them up and flood streets. So you want to keep those on your lawn, either collect them, compost them, or if you have a medium amount of leaves, you can actually mow right over them. So those are all different things. We want to keep them out of the storm sewers, because what happens then is they decompose and they'll actually create algae blooms. All that phosphorus and all that natural nutrients, too much of it will create a problem in the streams, which will create a problem for wildlife and also people. So just think about different things like that. This winter, think about reducing the amount of salt that you put on your driveway and sidewalks. Figure out what amount you need to be safe, and do just that, because that also affects our stormwater, or our waterways. So all different actions, if everybody could take a few moments this week to think about that, and if you have time, maybe take an action. And turn it over to Joe.
Commissioners, I'd just like to take a minute to thank you for your support of our stormwater program. Obviously, Soil and Water is a very important partner in our program, but through the Drainage Engineer's Office, you allow us to coordinate Franklin County Economic Development and Planning, Franklin County Public Health, the sanitary engineer, work with the Ohio EPA, all of the townships, and even the village of Lockbourne to all try and work together to have a coordinated, efficient program. The thing with stormwater at this level, we're dealing with really non-point source pollution, because it's all kinds of different things that affect it throughout our neighborhoods, from walking your dog to working on your car to factories and businesses and things like that. There's such a big variety that it takes all of these partners working in concert to help to solve this problem and reduce the impacts that we have on the environment. So through your support, we're able to coordinate and do the best we can with that, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know with our PFM is out here, but I was going to say, I know there are things that we probably could be doing better. I know that we have some rain gardens on some of our roofs, and we're trying to do our best, but I'm wondering what else we could be doing. We don't have to get into that now, but it might be worthwhile for us to think about as we execute our long-term capital plan and facilities planning. So maybe we'll circle back around with you on that. Yeah. Jim, Jennifer, thanks so much for being here.
Well, we have resolutions for both of you. Appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good to see you. All right.
You said that already.
Thanks to you two for being here today. Now to the clerk of courts.
Resolution number 74323, resolution authorizing a supplemental contract with Precision Industrial Services Incorporated to provide replacement carpet services for the Franklin County Clerk of Courts Auto Title Division in the amount of $72,362.64.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rich Sims, Director of Auto Title for the Clerk of Courts. We're seeking approval for Resolution 0743-23 for carpet replacement at our Great Southern Branch. The contract for installation is with Precision Industrial Services, Inc. under State Term Schedule STS 721. Precision Industrial Services, Inc. is an Ohio-based EDGE-certified minority business enterprise which provides flooring for government and commercial clients in Ohio and neighboring states. Today's resolution is for a contract with effective dates of October 2nd, 2023 through December 1st, 2023, with a not to exceed amount of $72,362.64. Pending any questions, the clerk's office respectfully requests approval of resolution 0743-23.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 743-23.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 74323 has been adopted.
Thank you.
thank you. To the coroner.
Resolution number 74423, resolution authorizing an agreement with National Medical Services Incorporated, doing business as NMS Labs, for specialized testing services for the coroner's office in the amount of $45,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Amanda Wright, representing Dr. Nathaniel Overmeyer of the Coroner's Office. This resolution is with NMS Labs. It's a forensic reference laboratory that performs specialty forensic toxicology testing that are beyond the coroner's laboratory testing scope. Some of these are so small that we can't be seen on our current technology or expensive to maintain within our own lab. This NMS will allow us to selectively order as well as needed to enable the coroner's office to meet the requirements of each death investigation. Any death investigation by the coroner's office may involve the exposure to unique toxic drug, chemical or poison. The ability to utilize NMS Labs specialty toxicology testing to determine or exclude the presence of these esoteric substances is crucial in determining the correct cause of death. Any pending questions, I ask for your approval.
I think you should bring the skeleton with you. It's hard to see you
You
and
know,
not
I
see that
could.
skeleton in the background. It's just not the same experience. hearing
Depend,
you,
it all
so-
depends.
I have a little one, like travel.
Yeah, that
I'll do that.
might help,
It all depends on what hat you're bringing along with you.
Though I don't know, I don't have a small one for the skeleton.
Yeah, well, you should leave it.
There are no comments or questions. Move for approval of resolution 744-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 744-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 745-23, resolution authorizing an agreement between The Ohio State University on behalf of its Arthur G. James Cancer Hospital and Richard J. Solove Research Institute.
Good morning, Commissioners and Team Franklin County. Patrick McLean on behalf of Dr. Overmeyer and Commissioner Boyce. A long time ago, you might remember I was also shaped like a skeleton, but that was a long, long time ago. The Franklin County Coroner's Office wishes to engage with The Ohio State University on behalf of its Arthur James Cancer Hospital and Richard Solove Research Institute in discussions that may lead to a business relationship between both parties. This business relationship may involve histology lab services through necessary preparation of specimens, including fixation, tissue processing, embedding, microtomy, routine staining, and additional services. Parties are agreeing to enter into a non-disclosure agreement that may address in part the disclosure of patent and other intellectual property owned or licensed by The Ohio State University to Franklin County and the Franklin County Coroner's Office. The non-disclosure agreement also addresses patient data that is inherently part of histology since tissues come from individual decedents. Please note, nothing in this non-disclosure agreement supersedes the Franklin County Coroner's duties and obligations under Ohio and federal law requiring confidentiality of records and information relating to any decedent. Further, this agreement does not supersede the requirements of Ohio public records laws. For example, the non-disclosure agreement does not limit the disclosure of cost or pricing information for services rendered by The Ohio State University to Franklin County and the Franklin County Coroner's Office or any record required to be released under the public records laws. Finally, this resolution is solely for the purposes of entering into discussions. In the event that a formal business arrangement results from these discussions, we will return to you, as per normal, with the contract outlining the nature of the relationship and the costs associated therewith. Be happy to take any questions.
I just want to, thank you, if I may. I'm sorry.
Please.
Thank you, President O'Grady. And so I really appreciate, I was reading the contract language or the resolution summary as you were saying it. So just to make it like elementary for the public and put it in just really layman's terms, the non-disclosure agreement, the NDA, really is just trying to protect intellectual property, for the university. And if there was any request for information or data, that it would be, the non-disclosure agreement doesn't supersede that. Like any public records request would still be legit and could be responsive from the coroner's office or from Ohio State, and that the NDA does not.
Absolutely
supersede
right,
that. Okay, I
Commissioner,
just want
yes.
to make that very, just English language.
Well said.
Plain
Well said.
for the public. Okay. And so I guess the question that I have about this business relationship, is this similar to the relationship that the coroner's office had prior with Ohio State University before we moved over into the new Forensic Science Center? If you could just help me understand
I
this
think-
relationship.
I think it's fair to say it is similar. I may rely on Amanda to talk a little bit about the history of that, but the technology has come a long way since then as
Okay.
well. So, in fact, the discussion would be about Ohio State University being able to do more for us in this field. The histology, which is the microscopic study of tissues, the ability to use microscopes in ways has advanced significantly even since we were over in that space, which was only 3 or 4 years ago.
Right, okay. I didn't know if you had anything, Amanda, to add to that or not. And I don't know if
No,
my colleagues-
just the capabilities of going to digital would be the newer component that our current vendors don't offer, that this vendor, as Ohio State, would be able to utilize, which is what they did not have when I first started in 2010.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, if there are no additional comments or questions, move for approval resolution 745-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 745-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 746-23, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to sign on behalf of the coroner an agreement with West Virginia University School of Medicine, Biomedical Laboratory Diagnostics, and Pathologist Assistant Programs Affiliation Agreement for Clinical Education.
Okay. Our last resolution presented before you guys are the affiliation agreement with West Virginia University School of Medicine Biomedical Laboratory Diagnostic and Pathology Assistant Program to allow pathologist assistants to come and conduct forensic rotations at the coroner's office. This will provide the pathology assistants with the opportunity to learn from our forensic pathologists and other professionals within the coroner's office regarding medical legal death investigation. Prosecuting attorney has reviewed and approved it to form. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this affiliation agreement.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 746-23.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 746-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 747-23, resolution ordering the county engineer to prepare reports, plans, and schedules for the improvement of the Radke-Snyder Ditch Watershed, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster from the Franklin County Engineers Office, along with Nick Soulis and Jim Ramsey. Commissioners, our first resolution is a single ditch, or a single county ditch petition for the Radke-Snyder Ditch Watershed, was filed with the Clerk of Board of County Commissioners on April 14th, 2023, by Lynn Radke, Gordon Caldwell, Lori Vermeer, and Donald Vermeer. On September 18th, 2023, the board held the first hearing and heard testimony from the Franklin County Drainage Engineer, as well as residents of the watershed. As conveyed in the first hearing, the county engineer has conducted a preliminary investigation, reviewed the cost estimates, and determined that the improvement is needed, technically feasible, and practical. Approval of this resolution allows the engineer to move into the design phase of the project. The passing of this resolution does not mandate construction of this project. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 747-23.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 747-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. And then the engineer.
Resolution number 748-23, CT Consultants Incorporated Consulting Engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer by providing detailed engineering services for the Cleveland Avenue and Dunedin Road and Piedmont Road, Dunbar Drive Pedestrian Improvements Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $56,140.
Commissioners, our next resolution seeks approval of a contract with CT Consultants, Consulting Engineers, to provide detail engineering for services for the Cleveland Avenue at Dunedin Road and Cleveland Avenue at Piedmont, Dunbar Drive pedestrian improvement project. CT Consultants is a local engineering firm and was chosen via engineers qualifications-based selection process. The project is located in northeast Franklin County in Clinton Township and is funded by ODOT Highway Safety Improvement Program dollars and will perform pedestrian upgrades, including installation of pedestrian refuge islands, mast arm mounted rapid rectangular flashing beacons. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 748-23.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 748-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Prosecuting attorney.
Resolution number 749-23, resolution authorizing the county administrator to accept the grant award from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services in the amount of $25,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Leonard on behalf of the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Today's resolution authorizes the acceptance of a grant from the Ohio Criminal Justice Services. The grant was originally announced back in November of 2022, and it provided ARPA grant dollars for victim service agencies like our Victim Assistance Unit. The grant was designed to enable victim service agencies to give one-time retention incentive payments to staff members that work with the crime victims. The grant application was submitted this past December, and on September 22nd of this year, the office was notified that OCGS had recommended the grant funding in the amount of $25,000. The commissioners have, recognizing the need for victim services advocates, supported our request earlier this year for additional victim witness assistance because of the significant growth in the caseload and the tremendous stress and challenges of these victim witness assistants and that whole victim assistance unit has to deal with because of the tremendous caseload. The office has recently lost some experienced victim witness assistants, and we've seen a substantial increase in the volume of cases being handled by the unit, particularly because of the statutory change this past April that made strangulation cases felonies. As I said, these victim witness unit is on the front lines in supporting the crime victims. They keep victims informed and help support them throughout the legal process. And again, many of these are some of the most serious offenses that we see. The responsibilities of these victim witness assistants are physically and emotionally stressful and challenging, and these retention incentive funds will serve to recognize their contribution to the mission of serving crime victims and encourage these employees to stay with our office. And so pending any questions, I would respectfully request approval of the resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 749-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 749-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Ed. The Office on Aging.
Resolution number 750-23. Resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Monarch Management LLC to administer One Voice training services in the amount of $45,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration. I'm Shonda Wingo, Director for the Office on Aging. The Office on Aging services more than 13,000 seniors so far this year. We receive more than 70,000 phone calls annually, and we service more than 70,000 seniors through our grant programs. However, there are over 250,000 seniors in Franklin County, so I anticipate that these numbers will grow. We're also in the process of a system upgrade where we're phasing out a system that is more than 30 years that will, with the new system, allow different channels of communication, including chat and telecase, in addition to your phone lines. This resolution will authorize a contract and agreement with Monarch Management LLC to administer training services to support our One Voice customer service initiative designed to enhance our customer service delivery and improve the overall customer experience for our Franklin County seniors in the amount of $45,000. The contract period is October 3rd through December 31st. During this time, Monarch Management will provide on-site training, hybrid data collection, and support for our staff. This supports goal number 4 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, I seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 750-23.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 750-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shonda. Animal Control.
Resolution number 751-23. Resolution authorizing the acceptance of a gift from the estate of Margaret L. Blankenberg in the amount of $5,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lionel Hamilton, Fiscal Officer for Animal Care and Control. This resolution seeks the acceptance of a gift from the estate of Margaret L. Blankenberg in the amount of $5,000. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 751-23.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 751-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 752-23. Resolution authorizing the acceptance of a gift from the Yvette M. Gardner Trust in the amount of $21,250.
Commissioners, this resolution also seeks the acceptance of a gift from the Yvette M. Gardner Trust in the amount of $21,250. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 75223.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 75223 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
thank you.
Thank you.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 75323, resolution authorizing contract modifications with Savannah Sprague and Kevin Irby for peer support and case management services for residents served via Safer Station through the Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Abuse Program Grant.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa, Chief Operating Officer with the Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Commissioners, as you know, Safer Stations was opened on the west side of Columbus in August of 2022 to serve individuals at significant risk of overdose through the provision of immediate treatment and referral linkage and harm reduction education, including the distribution of Narcan and fentanyl test strips. This resolution requests no cost extension agreements, with two of our peer support specialists, Ms. Savannah Sprague and Mr. Kevin Irby, through December 31st, 2023. This contract extension, along with the following two resolutions, supports Goal 2 of the Rise Together Blueprint for Reducing Poverty. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
I do have a question, if I may,
Please.
President O'Grady. Thank you. Can you, why are these two in the same resolution, even though they were originally in separate resolutions, approved in separate resolutions? Why are we putting them together now?
Sure, and historically, if the professional services contracts are funded through the same grant program, we have historically put them together when we brought these before the Board of Commissioners for extensions.
Okay. All right. Okay. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 75323.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 75323 has been adopted. Resolution number 75423, resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement with Faith Sharp for community health worker services for residents served via Safer Station in the amount of $37,000.
Commissioners, since the Safer Stations launched in August of 2022 and through August of 23, 845 individuals have been served, 1,811 Narcan kits distributed, and 4,552 fentanyl test strips distributed. This resolution seeks your approval of a new professional service contract with Ms. Faith Sharp in the amount of $37,000. Ms. Sharp is a certified community health worker and peer support specialist and will provide outreach, education, treatment referral, and linkage to individuals visiting Safer Stations. Funding will be supported through our FY 2020 Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Use Grant Program. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval of this professional services contract.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 75423.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
yes,
Resolution number 75423 has been adopted. Resolution number 75523, resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement with Michelle Majors for peer support and case management services for residents served via Safer Station in the amount of $37,000.
Commissioners, this final resolution requests your approval of an additional professional services contract with Ms. Michelle Majors, who has a Bachelor of Science degree from Liberty University and recently completed her peer support certification through the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, and she'll be a welcome asset to Safer Stations. This contract is in the amount of $37,000, and again, will be supported with our FY 2020 Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Use Grant Program. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 75523.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 755-23 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sanitary engineer.
Resolution number 756-23. Resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Driven Excavating LLC for the Kanawha-Roslyn Sanitary Sewer Project in the amount of $7,828,189.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm Ryan Stowe with Sanitary Engineering. Within the county's Clinton No. 2 service area, which is located in Sharon Township, there are approximately 120 homes without access to centralized sanitary sewer and rely on home sewer treatment systems to dispose of their wastewater. To bring sanitary sewer to these homes, the Department of Sanitary Engineering engaged MS Consultants to provide design, bidding, and construction phase services. The project consists of approximately 5,200 linear feet of gravity sewer, a 200 gallon per minute pump station, and approximately 500 feet of force main. Through the invitation to bid process, 3 bids were received on August 16th of this year. A review of the bids by the sanitary engineer and their consultant, MS Consultants, found Driven Excavating to be the lowest and best bidder for a total contract sum not to exceed $7,828,189. Cost of construction will be funded by the $5 million provided to the Department of Sanitary Engineering annually from the Board of Commissioners. This project is slated to start in January of next year and should be completed no later than the second quarter of 2025. Any questions or comments, I request the passage of this resolution.
I do have a question. How many homes, for this project, how many homes would be impacted? I didn't see it.
There will be 120 will be connected.
Oh, 120. Okay, great. Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 756-23.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 756-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Purchasing Department.
Resolution number 757-23. Resolution approving the updated Franklin County Board of Commissioners purchasing policy regarding the requirements for all purchases made under the authority of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pardon me. Megan Perry-Ballinier, Director of Purchasing. As stated, this resolution would authorize an updated Franklin County Board of Commissioners purchasing policy. A significant number of updates were made throughout the policy to more clearly define terms, requirements, processes, and responsibilities. A few notable updates include an increased threshold for competitive selection pursuant to the Governor's approval of the state operating budget. This threshold has increased from $50,000 to $75,000 through December 31st of 2024. Thereafter, the threshold will increase by 3% annually. With this increased threshold, we've also increased the threshold for the requirement of 3 quotes from $25,000 to $40,000, and we've included a provision requiring all agencies to use best efforts to ensure that at least one of these 3 quotes is obtained from a small and emerging business enterprise. We've expanded our purchase order terms and conditions, which will be attached to the policy as an exhibit. And we've also added terms and conditions, which will outline invalid terms and conditions, the approval to form process, authorization to execute a contract, and the submittal process for resolutions and contract documents. Finally, this updated policy is the product of a comprehensive and collaborative review effort undertaken by a number of key agency stakeholders. And I'd like to thank them all for their partnership in this process. Pending any questions, Commissioners, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 757-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 757-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 758-23. Resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,888,963.60.
Commissioners, joining me for our second resolution is Tamika Bumper, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution requests your approval of 113 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Tamika has the supplier diversity data for this week. Good morning, Tamika.
Good morning. 8 of the purchase orders being presented today are being awarded to small emerging businesses, totaling $175,419.92. 2% is being awarded to minority businesses, 1% to locally disadvantaged businesses, and 1% to small businesses, and 4% to women-owned businesses. Once these are approved, 6 agencies will have provided equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. These agencies include the Coroner's Office, the Data Center, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Engineer's Office, Public Facilities Management, and the Sheriff's Office. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 75823.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 75823 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 75923, resolution authorizing receipt of the Consolidated Appropriations Act 2023 Community Project Funding Award from the U.S. Department of Labor.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lauren Rummel, Government Affairs and Ethics Director. As stated, this resolution allows us to accept an award of congressionally directed spending for the Building Futures Program in the amount of $686,000. This award was made to Franklin County in federal fiscal year 23 Consolidated Appropriations Act as a line item earmark championed by Senator Brown in the federal budget specifically for this program. This resolution allows us to draw down the funds for the congressionally intended purpose. It designates the Department of Job and Family Services as the administrative lead for this work, and then it authorizes the acceptance of the award and any steps necessary to effectuate the award from the Department of Labor. So pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval this morning.
Please.
Thank you, President O'Grady. So I just have one question, or maybe two. We were the applicant, I want to say we applied, last year? And we submitted the application on behalf of this program and was awarded. And we talk about Building Futures all the time, just because it's one of our flagship workforce development programs. It has been highly recognized across the country by other counties, but also through the National Association of Counties. The White House multiple times, and Director Perez was just here learning about it. But it is so transformational, moving people from underemployed or unemployed directly into the middle class with a number of wraparound services. The commissioners, prior to me coming to the board, and then has invested significantly since I've been on the board through the American Rescue Plan Act, and so appreciate the Biden administration for those dollars, and will continue to invest in this program. And I think we, so far, have been a little more than $12 million into the Building Futures, Driving Futures program. And I know this application is for that program specifically, but I want to just say, all of our workforce development programs can be just as successful as this. And so, because we are still transforming lives, providing the same wraparound services. And so while I'm excited to get this, be able to approve a resolution to be able to accept this award and have you all execute a grant award in the contract to be able to draw down these funds, I would love to see something like this for some of our other programs, like Tech Women of Color, or we have County Futures now. We have a number of programs that could just be as highly successful and recognized, and we should be able to partner with the federal government to get more dollars to come into these programs. So thank you for all your work on this, trying to move this forward and working with our congressional members to get this through. It was no easy feat, and so just a testament to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I'll just add, as you know, there are a number of grant opportunities open right now with the passage of some significant legislative packages. So with that eye and ear to other workforce programs, I will work with county administration and our agencies to explore those opportunities and see where those matches are. I'd be eager to pull down additional
Especially
federal
since
funds.
we're a workforce hub.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. If there are no additional comments or questions, I move for approval of Resolution 75923.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 75923 has been adopted.
thank you. Do we have any journalizations, Tim?
We do not.
All right, if,
Why not?
all right, all right, and there's that. Is there any media on, either online or in person, who would like to ask questions? Hearing none and seeing none, that ends today's general session.
How did I get coffee all over me?